TV right here on Afia TV, sports show for today. I'm your priest of football, Emeka America, your host for today. And we have a lot going down in the metro and abroad as well. But before I get down to the nitty-gritty, I need to introduce my co-host for today. And it's the man that thinks he's him, the man that thinks he's the chosen one. I'll just introduce the young man. KP, you're welcome.
Mr. Sisi knows how to introduce me better than that.
I'm not Sisi.
I'm him. I don't think I'm him.
But so I'm not Sisi.
Let's correct that notion.
But I'm not Sisi.
The world knows I'm him. So
you're not him.
All
right, no problem. It's a pleasure to have you here. And let's jump straight into the headlines. You've seen how the NPFL has shaped down. We have a live coverage right here on Afia TV, like we always do. We have that featured game between Enyimba and I believe that's Kano Pillars. Yes, that'll be showing right here on Afia TV on Sunday by 3:30 p.m. So that's the first major headline we have for today. Then second major headline we have is that former Remo Stars coach Daniel Ogumudede has gotten his UEFA B license.
Yeah.
And that's quite an impressive feat by the manager there. It's nice to see them always take that extra initiative and get these licenses and see where they can push their careers further the shores of Nigeria and Africa abroad as well. And moving on from that, we have former martial arts multiple karate champion Chuck Norris. It's such a sad note to announce that he has passed away at the age of 86. A legend in his own right. I mean, we'll sadly miss him right here and around the world. The man is indeed a legend. I mean, what he's done in the karate world, it's not an easy feat as well.
True.
So moving on from the headlines now, we jump straight into the NPFL for today. And it's no surprises that Rivers United had games in hand. And just like life, things are constant: rain, sun, Nigeria being Nigeria. Rivers United have flocked their chances to extend their lead over Enugu Rangers, and now it's just the 1 point going into match day 32.
Very interesting.
Like we said before, 3 games in hand isn't a guarantee that you're going to win the league.
Yeah.
And now Rivers United have pointed that out to us that, okay, yes, they can be vulnerable. And indeed, they have lost 2 crucial games, Ikorodu City and Niger Tornadoes. Now it's all to do for in the remaining games. Because I mean, I don't see Enugu Rangers looking at that opportunity and letting it go by. What do you feel about this?
I think Enugu Rangers right now in the southeast, in Enugu town, you know, right there in Obiago, they are smelling blood. So I think a lot, when if you're passing the Cathedral right now, you're just going to be perceiving a lot of blood, and that's blood of Rivers United, because right now they're in touching distance, and they have a very tough game this weekend against Nasarawa United, who are fourth in the table. It's not going to be an easy game by any stretch. And Enugu Rangers at home to Kanemi Warriors. I don't think we are going to get a better opportunity for Enugu Rangers to be top of the table than this weekend, by the end of this weekend. So I think it's one we're going to relish at the Cathedral. I just want to crave the indulgence of everyone in Enugu City right now. If you can turn up to the Cathedral, let's go and support our boys, because this is the time. This is, in the words of some people on this show, squeaky bum time, where it's time to win the league. Just few games left, and I think Enugu Rangers can do it. So yeah, kudos to them for closing the gap all this while and for maintaining consistency while Rivers United were participating in the CAF Champions League. They have returned from the CAF Champions League and there have been a drop of form, and now is an opportunity to at least be 2 points clear. So yeah, it's one we want to see.
So I want to ask this question now, because I live for controversies, and now how do you see this whole NPFL planning out? What do you see come match day 38? What do you see being the outcome by the time the league is done and dusted?
Over the course of the season, over the course of this show, I've been playing down the chances of Enugu Rangers winning the league, insisting that I just wanted them to qualify for the Intercontinental Tournament. But right now, I think I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting too excited, and they have come to the value of opportunity where they can leapfrog and overtake Rivers United, and I think we can all see it happen. So come match day 38, we know the experience Mr. Fidelis Ilechuku have. We know the experienced players we have. Godwin Obaje, scoring in the second half of the season, he has improved his scoring, and Chidozie Ewundu, being very instrumental to the league side. So I see it happening. I see Enugu Rangers
clinching the title.
Not just clinching the title, I see that bus parade in this city.
I mean, it's been a while since we saw that bus parade, and Enugu fans will be really buzzing to see that happen right here in 042, trying to see the Enugu Rangers as they carry that bus parade through town, lifting that cabineted trophy, giving that joy back to 042 again, in the Enugu, that kind of thing. Now, let's look at the fixtures that we have for this weekend, and now NPFL action is resuming today. When you have Wiki Torres, I'll be hosting Barrow FC by 4 p.m.
Yeah.
And that's another interesting game because those are two teams that came on from the NLL and they've been impressive this season.
Yes.
They've taken it to giants this season. Really, they've been what you call the giant killers. Then tomorrow's action begins with Remo Stars against Kwara United by 4 p.m. At the same time, Rangers will be hosting Kanemi Warriors at the Cathedral. Casino United will be hosting 3SC Shooting Stars. Kano Pillars will be hosting Enyimba, the featured game that we're going to be showing here on Afia TV. Someone keeps on saying, when are we going to get a Rangers game? Hopefully we'll get one.
Maybe the title decider is the
game. All right. And then we have Plateau United versus Bayelsa United also by 4 p.m. We have Warrior Wolves hosting Bender Insurance. Kun Khalifat FC will be hosting Ikodu City. Oga Boys will be looking to build off on the impressive form that they've gathered in recent weeks. Then on Monday, we have 2 games to be played by 4 p.m. as well. Afia Warriors, your dear old Afia Warriors, will be hosting Niger Tornadoes, who will be looking to maybe get themselves higher up the table since they fell off a bit on the pace. Then Nassau United, who will be hosting Rivers United. That is a crucial game to watch out for. If anything doesn't go well for Rangers, that will give the odds back to Rivers United. Hopefully, here in Enugu, we'll be cheering our dear old Enugu Rangers and hoping that they can get the job done at the Cathedral, while just praying for that minor draw or defeat for Rivers United against Nassau United, who are on red-hot form recently. So that's how NPFL action plans out. Just take a look at the table for a minute and see how things plan out there. Obviously, first now on the table with 52 points is Rivers United. Following them red hot is Rangers with 51 points. Ikodu City in third was Oga Boys with 48 points. Nassau United in fourth place, like we pointed out, with 47 points. Shooting Stars in 5th place with 47 points as well. Afia Warriors in 6th with 46 points. Really tight on the top of the table there. Bender Insurance following them with 44 points. Kanemi Warriors with 42 points. Barrow FC, an impressive side that came out from the NNL, in 9th place with 40 points. Niger Tornadoes, after that crucial win, climbing into 10th with 39 points. Warriors in 11th with 39 as well. Casino with 39 as well. Bayelsa in 14th place with 37 points. Enyimba in 15th, coming out from the relegation zone, just having that single point above relegation with 36 points. Same with Kano Pillars in 16th with 36 points. Wiki Torres with 35 points. Kwara United with 33 points. Remo Stars, the defending champions, who clearly won't defend anything this season, would be ending with 33 points after the last action. And then bottom basement boys would be Kun Khalifa FC with 32 points as well. That's how the table plans out there. And may I ask, any shockers outside the top 2? Any shockers for you there? Who might climb into what position? Do you see Abia maybe toppling Ikodu City or something like that?
No, I see Abia Warriors finishing ahead of Nassau United.
So you give them like a top 3 finish?
Top 4 finish.
Top 4 finish.
I think the top 3 are going to be Enugu Rangers, Rivers United, and Ikodu City.
Okay.
I think those have been the most consistent sides this season, and I'm going to stick with them. I think Abia Warriors can make it into that. I know that's not really, doesn't really give them much, but there's a lot of encouragement into the season. I saw jokes by Ikodu City fans within the week saying they don't really care about any title race. They just care to escape relegation. And they're in the relegation battle. And it's not far-fetched because if you look at our table, they are not really, they are 7 wins, or let's say like 6-7 points away from securing safety, and still they're in contention for continental position.
That's to tell you how tight the NPFL has been this season.
Exactly. So that's the only thing I see leapfrogging any team. And then for Remo Stars, I really hope they can stay up. A win this weekend will do them a big favor. They won't be out of relegation zone still if they win, but it will do them a big favor.
Do you actually see them climbing out of the relegation zone? Honestly.
I don't have a choice but to see them do that. A lot has been made of the reason they are where they are now.
Yeah.
But I'll really play it down to the fact that they had to, play most of their home games in away stadiums this season.
Yeah.
They did a lot of reconstruction in their stadium and they had to change location of their home games. And I think that's affected them. Like it was a big detriment because you know the importance of home games in the NPFL. So this, I think it was a real factor that affected their progress and what they could do this season. Now they are playing their home games at home. They were able to pick up a victory last week. So I hope they can continue, moving in that direction because it will be really tough and sad to see defending champions being relegated.
I mean, it will be bad to see the defending champions go down straight after winning the title. But I mean, if you don't play the football the way you're meant to play it, you go down and it's looking really, really gloomy for them, if I might say. Because if they don't get the wins in the next couple of weeks, their relegation is all but assured. Them and I believe Kun Khalifa FC. So it's all on the two teams now to try and get themselves out of the relegation
100%.
team and see what they can do. Maybe finish higher up. Maybe 16th, 15th won't be too bad. Maybe 14th at most. Like we say, it's never good to see people who win this illustrious trophy the next season just fall apart so badly, and that's what has happened to most stars. But moving away from the league, we have to go to the continental stage, and like a thief in the night, when everybody was enjoying Champions League action, CAF came and announced something that really didn't sit well with all of Africa, and that was the petition to rule in favor of Morocco in the Article 82, page 4, saying that a walkout from the pitch is a forfeit. Now, everyone is asking, if that was the case, why wasn't it awarded that night? Why allow the game to continue and reach a conclusion? Why allow the referee continue the game? I want to get your thoughts now on this whole fiasco.
I spoke on this at length yesterday, and I think this is one that is very, 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 and I intentionally use many varies there. Very, very disappointing, and I'm running out of adjectives here to use, and it's just a spit on the face of African football for all the players that have, worked hard, built the reputation of African football brick by brick. The likes of Samuel Eto'o, JJ Okocha, and all of them. Didier Drogba, Yaya Toure. And then a game is played. We saw the incident that happened, which was caused by the referee. Let's not mince words here. Whatever your sentiment is on whether they should have walked out or not, we saw what led to that. Yeah. And then the referee had an opportunity to announce the game there as a forfeit. And the referee continued the game. Yeah. He continued the game. He resumed the game. The game continues. Brahim Diaz plays the best penanka of all time. and we land where we are now. Yeah. And then 2 months later, the final was played on 18 January. On 18th March, they come out to say, we are not giving the final Senegal. Morocco won the final. There's no precedent for this in history of anything like this happening. And right now, I think I don't want to talk about how disgusting this is. I'm sure the likes of Jamie Carragher are smirking all over.
A lot of people do.
And as that verdict dropped, something funny happened. He dropped a meme on Twitter where he was just smiling. I was like, I was right all along. This is not a major tournament. And it just goes to prove people like that, right? And you can't even say anything against the likes of Jamie Carragher because
backing him.
Yeah, look at what's happening. But what just has to happen now is Senegal have appealed to the Court of Arbitration for Sports, and we just have to hope they come out with a verdict that vindicates African football. But what my issue with this is, even if they announce Senegal as winners, the whole circus it has created, you're the winner today, you're not the winner tomorrow, you're the winner today. Oh my God.
You can win the Afcon and maybe 5 months later.
I'm still hoping that, they revoke Argentina's World Cup and give it to France, if that's the case. So what's going on? And they say, what are we doing here? Now I keep asking, what are we doing here? So it's a very, very disappointing one for African football. Yeah. I hope it's one that in some way, shape or form, we can be redeemed from through one decision or the other, and that CAF can learn from, never to do this again. I know they're trying to favor Morocco because Morocco is hosting a lot of tournaments for the continent, but I don't think this is how things should be done. Football matches are won on the pitch and not in boardrooms.
Yes, so exactly.
That just has to happen.
Now, all eyes are on CAF now to give the final verdict of what will happen here. Do they announce the Africans winners, that's the people's winners, Senegal, or do they give the courtroom winners, Morocco? There's no other way to put it here. And I mean, when you look at the man, Patrice Motsepe, a lot of eyes are on him for corruption and all that, and allegedly though, but This is a man that
Allegedly.
allegedly, as I use the word allegedly, this is a man that with time pass, he has come out to make some decisions that don't really sit well with many viewers or the lovers of football. And he doesn't really care about the emotions of the many, if I may put it that way.
I know Patrice Musepe is one of the major people that you can look at and point a finger at. Actually, I would disagree a little because I like some of the innovations he has brought to the African football. My fingers will be pointed at the CAF committee in charge, with the Nigerian as president of that CAF committee that made this decision. I know that Musepe must have been aware of what they were doing. So I understand your sentiment then, but I'm disappointed in him because I think he has done a lot of good for African football. The recent Afcon tournaments have been good tournaments.
Yes.
The planning preparation have gone very well. I like the fact that even the next Afcon, they're planning that 3 countries host together. Those are good ideas from him and from his end. Even the idea of doing the Afcon every 4 years. I know some people may disagree, but I also like that idea. So this one from him, I'm really disappointed.
Raising some eyebrows there.
And Mosepe, if you're watching me now, I'm disappointed in what you did. But that's why what I'm trying to say is that we can all do better. We have to think about the actions and the decisions we are making at every single point in time. Because if they came out that night to say the game was forfeited, they would have been an uproar, but I don't think the uproar would have been this bad. The backlash after 2 months. What are you using 2 months to do? You're using 2 months to read 2 articles of your own constitution. So what's going on? What exactly happened? Did the wire transfer take 2 months to land? So what allegedly?
Allegedly.
What exactly is going on? That's the question we're asking. So
there needs to be a principle that will guide this decision. Why did he wait 2 months?
We don't know what CAS is going to do because they could as well say the final will be replayed. Very unlikely. They can award to Morocco. They can award to Senegal. So we don't know what's going to happen. But most times when CAF have a case against, a case taken up to CAS usually goes against the CAF ruling and CAF regulation. So it's one to keep an eye on and watch.
Yeah, it's really one to tune in and see. Just the way we were waiting for the FIFA ruling and eventually came. Sad news for Nigerians everywhere. They gave it to Congo. And now we are looking at this again on the continental stage. I mean, it looks like when it comes to African football, there's always commas at every turning point.
We'll get it right.
Eventually.
Vote me as your CAF president. We'll get it
right. Don't vote for him, please. All right, let's go on a quick break. Stay tuned for more right here on Afia TV. Don't touch that dial. All right, you're welcome here on Afia TV, here on Afia Sports Show. I still remain your host for today, American Marike, your priest of football, Femelo, and we've done a halftime substitution right here on Afia TV. The man that thinks he's him, he's gone, and the blessed man is here. Blessed Zik, you're welcome.
Yeah, pleasure. Good morning.
Good morning. And we were talking about the NPFL action and a little bit of what has gone down in Africa with the whole CAF decision and all that, the fiasco that went down. Now it's time to turn our attentions to England. Premier League action has resumed, and we're going to be having actions from today. Well, action began yesterday with Bournemouth and Man United holding themselves to a draw. So let's just go through the fixtures. I'll just quickly get predictions so we can go to the next topic for the want of time.
Okay.
So Bournemouth and Man U, we cannot predict that one because that has ended already. We're going to be having, so this weekend's action continues with Brighton versus Liverpool. Quickly, predictions. Who takes it for you? Brighton or Liverpool?
Another draw.
Another draw. Fulham, Burnley.
Fulham, Burnley. We are starting with predictions. Wow, interesting. I think Fulham will win. Burnley are doomed.
All right. Here's a tricky one for the week. Everton, Chelsea.
Everton, Chelsea. Wow. Everton to win.
Everton to win Chelsea.
Yes.
Wow.
2-1.
That's quite harsh. Leeds versus Brentford.
Interesting. Draw.
Okay.
I would like to go with Brentford to win, but let me just go draw because Leeds are quite strong at home.
Newcastle versus Sunderland. Tomorrow's action.
Sunderland have been on a shaky form after getting to 40 points, and Newcastle after being destroyed 7-2. We want to do something difficult or different
At home.
at home.
In the time where derby.
Yes, in the derby. Newcastle just
winning it.
narrow.
Okay. At Villa Park. All right. At Villa Park, Villa versus West Ham.
I see West Ham winning.
West Ham getting all 3 points.
Yes.
Okay, climbing out of the relegation zone.
Something like that.
All right, then another relegation dogfight. Spurs versus Nottingham Forest.
Draw.
Yes.
1-1.
Okay. Then let's look at the table just briefly to build antecedents for what's going on. Arsenal on top of the table with 70 points. City following the pack with 61. Manchester United, after that defeat, remain only on 54 points. Aston Villa still in 4th place with 51. Liverpool in 5th with 49 points. Chelsea in 6th with 48 points. Brentford following Chelsea with 45. Everton just behind Brentford with 43 points. Newcastle on 42, Bournemouth on 41, Fulham on 41 as well, Brighton on 40 points, Sunderland on 40, Crystal Palace on 39 points, Leeds on 32 points, Tottenham Hotspurs on 30 points, just above the relegation zone with 1 point. Then you have Nottingham Forest just outside on goal difference on 29 points, West Ham on 29 points in the relegation zone, Burnley on 20 points, and Wolves on 17 points. That's how the Premier League shapes out. Now, let's move on straight to the Carabao Cup action. It is the final tomorrow, and Arsenal versus City. One had victory in the Champions League, one saw himself crashing out. Who is taking this for you? Who deserves this more?
It's not about deserving. It's what football will give you.
Who would you see playing the better football tomorrow and getting the desired title?
It depends on who performs best and who minimizes the most errors in their game. If you take your chances and you try to play to the rhythm of the game.
Okay, let me play this scenario.
No, I'm getting somewhere because you can play well and still lose. It's a final. It's not. It's
not who plays the most beautiful football that always wins.
Yeah, so it depends on how, like I said, the most minimization of errors by which team and who takes their chances. If you can minimize the error you do in your own half, in your own box, and take the chances that come to you, however few it may be, you can win the final. So in this game, you are seeing two teams, like you said, one coming from a very poor moment in their season in Manchester City, the draws that they have had with the relegation teams, the Nottingham Forest, the West Hams, and so on and so forth, and of course Arsenal that are coming off a not spectacular but a professional performance against Leverkusen, just ticking up the wins and trying to go for their first trophy in 6 years under this same manager after years of building. And the other team, serial winners, but have not been anywhere near it the past 18 months.
All right, so let me build the narrative quickly before we move to the next topic. On one hand, you have a wounded lion who has been dealt with so many blows in recent weeks. Your last chance to get that meat in the jungle. On the other hand, you have that quick, agile antelope that is climbing at quick pace and succeeding as they're going. Who do you think might just be cautious on the night and maybe, like you said, reduce the errors? Would you predict City or Arsenal? I need to get a prediction from you. Pick a side.
I don't know. For me personally, I am not on any team side. I'm just trying to be a neutral in this game.
Neutrals have the person they feel might win, though.
Yeah, City being wounded doesn't mean anything. Fine, that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. I don't know if you understand it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
The narrative is the narrative. They are wounded, of course, we know that. Still, I still feel Arsenal, their momentum, the longevity it has taken them might just be too strong for them.
Okay.
So Arsenal maybe to get the cup.
All right, so according to Blessed Zeke, is maybe sticking with a little Arsenal, maybe doing on form or something. But I will go with a counter prediction. I see maybe City just clinching it at the depth of the game.
It's very possible it's a final.
Yeah.
Arsenal are slight favourites. You can give it like 52-48%.
Yeah,
but it
that
still doesn't
percentage
mean
will be
City
fair.
can win them.
Yeah,
but I'm
true.
just feeling that Arsenal will just get over the line. 6 years since their first trophy under
Yeah.
Arteta. Why not? They are in a chance for a historic season. The club teams, they always try it to get that 4 trophies. I remember 2022 where they got the 2 domestic trophies. That's the FA Cup and this Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
Well, they missed out on the Premier
Premier
League.
League and the
by
Champions League.
1 point against City,
Yeah.
and Champions League by Real Madrid. So, these things are quite, it's just shaky, but this is the first step for us now. So I feel that they can do it. And with the trajectory they have been on this current season, and City have been.
All right. Now let's move over to the rest of Europe. I think we'll just take Spanish La Liga before we end in the Champions League and wrap things up here. In La Liga, we have action resuming today. We have Elche versus Mallorca. We have Espanyol versus Getafe. We have Levante versus Real Oviedo. We have Osasuna hosting Girona. Sevilla will be taking on Valencia. Barcelona will be taking on Rayo Vallecano tomorrow by 2 p.m. Celta Vigo will be hosting Alaves tomorrow. Athletic Club will be hosting Real Betis, who will be buzzing after their European win. We have Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid, the actual Madrid derby. Now, I just want to take 3 games in particular here. Barcelona versus Rayo Vallecano. Who takes it for you?
That's a question. Besides at home, it's like they have been scoring goals, lately.
Yeah.
12-2 at home, and they're at home against Rayo Vallecano. I think they'll make it a triple win.
All right. I'm going to take Sevilla versus Valencia because Sevilla are a side that have really impressed me this season.
At home against Valencia, I think that's a draw.
A draw. All right, the big game itself, the Madrid derby. Who takes it for you, Atletico or Real Madrid?
The neutrals will want a title race so that Madrid will win. But the Barca fans will say, they should draw or lose. And Atletico have been a pain, like a very, very serious pain in the ass for El Cholo Simeone. So I see them being able to do that, but these Atletico, they are just a Jekyll and Hyde team. Today they are like this, tomorrow they are like that. See, they lost to Tottenham at Tottenham Hotspur's home. They went ahead
on aggregate.
But if they can do that kind of thing to a Tottenham that is about to be relegated, I just see Madrid winning, just narrow.
I do see a draw in this game. I see a 2-2 draw.
It's too possible, but I see Madrid will just win.
Yeah, I do see a draw as well in the Sevilla game against Valencia, and a straightforward win for Barcelona. Vallecano. Now let's move straight to the UEFA Champions League, the last 8. It's very interesting because only 2 teams pulled off a comeback out of many that had to do comebacks. And you said the job was impossible for Atalanta to do. They decided in the first leg, same as Chelsea.
No, I saw Atalanta's fate even before the game. All the games started.
Atalanta, Chelsea, more over sealed in the first leg. City had that fight, but was cut short by the red card and some decisions that didn't go their way. Leverkusen had that huff and puff, but weren't able to come back. Tottenham tried the huff and puffing, but it wasn't just to be for them on the night. But 1 or 2 teams that did it was a 5-0 comeback for Sporting Lisbon at home against Bodo Glimt, the giant killers, as they say. I want just to take your talking points from that game and the Liverpool game, because those are the 2 comebacks. Every other game seemed done and dusted, or we can just talk you through your favorite Barcelona side.
No. All the games, the Champions League gave us a lot of
intrigue,
Intrigue, fun, passion, excitement. The games we had a lot riding on it. You can say some games were decided, half decided, but some weren't. Like Barcelona, that wasn't decided. They had to, rise up. Galatasaray, Liverpool wasn't decided. But I called that game because Galatasaray only scored 1-0. I said it on this studio. That they will still come back. Liverpool, they had an opportunity because if Galatasaray had 2-3 goals, this Liverpool, you aren't sure, but being it 1-0 and Galatasaray not going good away from home, it was very possible for them to do that. that Bayern Atlanta, I saw it. Atlanta was carrying the whole of Serie A at their back after those that left in the round of 16, the Inters and the Juve. So they couldn't do it against this Bayern. I saw it ahead of the time. Then Barcelona, it's Barcelona. They can score goals. I know this Flick team. They are very, very dangerous. People might say the back line, high line. How many goals have they actually considered with the high line, the back line? It's lazy argument. You have to sit down to understand the way the game goes. Real Madrid destroyed City. Surprisingly, City tried to huff and puff like you called it, but Real Madrid had already done the job at home. Yeah, that Valverde exceptional masterclass. L'Equipe gave him 10 over 10.
Yeah.
It tells you they are not up to 20 players that have had 10 over 10 for L'Equipe, that great French magazine. So it tells you that
it was quite a performance.
Yeah, and I love the performance of Sporting Lisbon against Bodo Glimt.
The fights to come back.
They come back. The 3-0 first leg defeat.
Yes, then the
5-0 demolition. They really, really put Bodo Glimt in their place. And it was actually an interesting game from two teams that were unfancied. But you have to respect Sporting. They finished in the top 8 and above prestigious name, people like PSG, Madrid, cities, they finish above all of them. So for you to see them being the ones to dismantle Bodo Glimt, you have to respect them.
All right, now let's take a quick look at the last 8. And this is how the action is. We are going to be having Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
You're going to be having Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
That's an all-Spanish affair. You're going to be having PSG versus Liverpool. And we're going to be having Sporting versus Arsenal.
Yeah.
Now, it's too early to call, but who might you say? Just give me your final 4. Yeah, give me your final 4.
It's like you said, it's still early. After this weekend, we are going into an international break. That's for 2 weeks. Anything can happen. Injuries, loss of form.
True.
Of course, we still have to factor in the suspension from this last match week of the Champions League.
Exactly.
That will still play into the first legs of the quarterfinals. Like for Sporting against Arsenal, their captain Human will not be there. So for the first leg at least. So it tells you that it's not yet. You can't predict it fully of who is going. But if I'm looking at it, they're all fantastic ties.
Yeah.
But I'm not yet convinced by Real Madrid, even though they totally.
Right, so just give me a wild prediction.
That's what I'm trying to get to it. Real Madrid, I'm not convinced by them. Okay. Yeah, they put on that Champions League white, and all of a sudden they become monsters. They slay people. But I think that this Bayern, they are going for a treble. Scoring goals for fun. They're the highest goal scorer in the Champions League.
Seems to be living life at the moment.
He has always been Harry Kane. Since the first time I saw him in 2016, I knew he was something different. So, but Bayern in general, Luis Diaz, Lucho, he's balling out. He's so like Liverpool. They need someone like that.
Yeah. Right
now on their left-hand side, RIP.
Bringing that dynamic play.
Yeah, of course. RIP to Diogo Jota.
Yeah.
Gakpo has not found his form. They have lost Nunes, but they need somebody like Lucho Diaz right now. But I think Bayern will be too much for
All right, PSG, Liverpool. Who do you think might have the nod there?
Like it's PSG. It's PSG. Like, are we going to argue this? Last season, Liverpool were the best team in the Champions League phase, and they met PSG. It was penalty. Yeah, the only team to take PSG by penalty throughout that whole knockout tie. But right now, with how Liverpool is and the way PSG destroyed Chelsea, I think it's PSG.
Sporting Arsenal.
Sporting did the comeback against Bodo Glimt. But remember, they tidied Arsenal in the Europa League. They disciplined Arsenal.
That's why I asked.
But I think Arsenal took their best player last season, Gyökeres.
Yeah.
But this new striker, Luis Suarez,
that's going to be an emotional one for him, actually.
Yeah, will he be emotional? Not really. He's a footballer. There's no allegiance. His allegiance now is for Arsenal, but I think they will be too strong. Arsenal is going for destiny. I think it will just be too strong for Sporting. Then for Barcelona, Atletico is grudge match.
Revenge time.
They are going to play. I won't say it's revenge, but it's grudge match. They are going to play themselves in 3 times, I think, in 21 days.
Yes.
In both the La Liga
and the Champions
League. And if you look at it, Barca has already lost to Atletico in the
Copa del Rey.
Copa del Rey, 3-0, 4-0. They couldn't do the comeback, but they have already won Atletico in the Camp Nou in La Liga 3-1. So, with that awareness of what happened in the Copa del Rey, I think they'll be too strong for Atletico Madrid. So it's Barca for me, Arsenal, Bayern and PSG. Well, anything can happen.
I do sit on the same sentiments with you that is the final four in the Champions League as well. Just briefly before we go, let's just look at the Europa League and the Conference League. Just the Europa League most especially. The last 8, we had the likes of Real Betis qualifying as well. Aston Villa have reached the last 8 in each of the competitions that they've made it to. Now, on Europa League, those are your quarterfinalists. You have Braga, you have Freiburg, you have Betis, Celta Vigo, Porto, Nottingham Forest, Bologna, and Aston Villa. Nottingham Forest had to dig deep to come back and get the win.
They actually scored the first 2 goals early. It's the home side Midtjylland that came, that scored the 2-1 that took it to penalties. And penalties is a game of lotteries, like anybody's game. And luckily for them, they came out successfully against Midtjylland. But Porto is going to be a different ball game. I think Porto will be too strong for them.
Yeah, there is something saying everybody's like...
They're playing Porto, right?
Yeah. When you look at this competitions now, both the UEFA Champions League and the Europa League, and as well as Conference League as well, one thing is consistent, and that is the dominance of Spanish teams in all competitions this season. You have more Spanish teams in each of the competitions than you have Premier League teams or Bundesliga teams or any other clubs, any other league side.
Yes, it's a top 5 league in Europe. What do you expect? But this thing is European football. Sometimes it changes. There are seasons that it will be German teams that are in the latter stages. Sometimes it's Italian teams that are in the latter stages of European competition. There are sometimes it is Premier League teams that are in the latter stages. I think last season, La Liga teams didn't do too well.
Yeah.
Me, I love La Liga, but I understand is that part of football that sometimes it goes well for you. So I don't think Premier League should be too sad. Maybe change the way you play your tactics, but it's good for La Liga teams to be doing well. Celta Vigo have a good coach. Claudio Hirades and Real Betis with their old wily fox.
So just a wild call. Who is the last 4 for you?
Like I said, Porto. I think Aston Villa will be stronger than Bologna because of the experience of their manager, Emery, master of Europa League.
Okay.
Freiburg versus Celta Vigo. I think Celta Vigo will win.
Okay.
They might lose the first leg, but in the second leg they will tidy up the job.
Okay.
I think they play first.
Yeah, they play Freiburg. I don't know who plays first. It's Freiburg's home first, yeah.
Okay, so if it's Freiburg's home first, I think I'll go with Celta Vigo. It's that Feyenoord versus Real Betis that is the tricky one. Betis, both of them are playing away from home, the La Liga team. So I think they might just have too much for the final side, because Feyenoord have gone off the ball in the Eredivisie. They are maybe going for this trophy to help their season have something. But
I think for the very first time, you and I are seemingly on the same path when it comes to predicting the last 4.
Are you serious?
Because I share the same sentiments with you. I do believe Aston Villa will be too big for Bologna and the night over the 2 legs. Porto to do the job convincingly against Nottingham Forest. I do see Celta Vigo with their experience and their manager as well being a close out in the tactical area, going to do the job. And I do see Real Betis being too strong for Feyenoord as well. So that is the last 4 I see as well in the Europa League. It's been a pleasure, Zeke. It's been a pleasure having you here, talking all through the world of sports, especially in football. We'll do this again next week, I guess.
Pleasure always.
And to you, the viewers, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for giving us your time, seeing us talk about sports, seeing us talk you all through what's going on in the Champions League, Premier League, NPFL, and all that's happening in Africa as well. Thank you for tuning in. To MCL, Moxie, I see you. We know what you're doing. David, I see you there. Victor, you're there somewhere, I guess. Our floor manager as well. We see you too. Stay tuned for more on Afia TV. Stay tuned for Afia Sports on the review show on Monday. Channel 254 DSTV, Channel 17 Go TV, 748 on Free TV. This is Emeka Madoke, aka Pistol Football, saying goodbye.